So when it's school holiday time, or any time really after school, everybody has to keep the kids happy. And in my case, these little guys. So we look for lizards. They're the lizards, babies. Can you see what they do in my garden? But it's okay. These are my fur kids. You guys have probably got two-legged kids, which are the normal ones. I'm going to show you 2 projects which will really get the kids involved in the garden. It's fun, it's easy, and even we might get a bit of enjoyment out of doing it. Come on, guys, let's go. Come on, come see. So guys, let's get going with this. Now, this project is going to be just like my brain thinks. We're going to be jumping all over and having loads of fun. First thing I want to do is I've got a bucket here with some water in it, and I'm going to use my palm peat coconut husk, and I want to put it in because that's going to be one of the parts of our project that we're going to get going on today. So all we do is open it up and pop it in here and forget about it. Next up, we're going to show you how to make some really cool little name tags for your plants. Now, you can give it a name. You can call it Tammy the Tomato or Cyril Spinach. Does that work? Anyway, you get the idea. So we've got little pieces of wood which you can probably get at offcuts, or you can just buy a strip of batten, cut it into little pieces. And what I've got here, a little paintbrush and some chalkboard paint. And we're just going to paint it up. And I like this because everyone can get involved with it. You know, you're not buying it. It's not ready-made. It gets to teach somebody to spell, and it gives them a personal connection with the plant. So here we go. Let's give them names and allow these babies just to dry. Nice. Okay, let's go back to this. So after about 20 minutes, your coconut husk's going to have just broken up, and you can really just aid it as well because you'll find a few lumps in here. Break it up, and this is going to be the basis of which we're going to do our project. Now, all of us have one of these lying around the house somewhere, and these make the most awesome little trays. And how much has it cost you? Well, pretty much zero. So we take some of my coconut husk and we're going to just throw it inside here. Pretty simple. And now we get to choose some seeds. So guys, whatever you do, please choose something that the child might actually enjoy eating. I'm going to be using spinach because, in my opinion, Papa did it for me. All we're going to do is open up our little packet. I'm going to squash that down a bit, squash it down with my finger. And of course, we want the odds to be good. So this is where adult skullduggery comes in. Instead of putting 1 seed in one little cavity, we're going to put 3 seeds. 1, 2, 3. You want to put 4 in? Do it. Okay, now we take a little bit more of our coconut husk, and all we're going to do is put a wee covering on them. Take your hand, firm it down. Okay? Last little trick for extra caution is we take a little bit of vermiculite, and all we do is we sprinkle a bit over, and we call this the electric blanket. This is like the little duvet, the snug bug blanket, because what this does is it literally forms a little insulating layer on top of the seeds just to keep them extra warm. And the vermiculite also absorbs a lot of moisture, so if they dry out while the kids are at school or while you're at work, then the little seeds can just draw it from the vermiculite. Okay, last up, most importantly, is watering. Remember, you don't start pouring over the tray. You start pouring it here. Then you go over, then you come back, over, back. You're going to be watering them every day, sometimes twice a day. How will you know if you need to water it? Pretty simple. The vermiculite is lighter in color when it's dry. When it's wet, it's darker. You want to make sure that that stays damp so that the seeds have got enough moisture to be able to germinate. So you put this in a spot where it's going to get morning light, not indoors, folks. Seeds need the sun. And on day 10, 11, or 12, watch your babies germinate, because when that happens, all hell is going to break loose in your household. And this is what you end up with after 2 to 3 weeks. When they get to this height, it's the time to get them out into the garden. So this is the fun part. You can literally take it, take a sharp craft knife. So we cut one little cavity. So we've got one little baby spinach, and we're going to take that and plant that into the garden. Or alternatively, we can then put it into a cool pot. And whether his name was Cyril or Sissel or even Papa, I reckon it's a good one to go. So if you were going to take your little Popeye spinach and plant it into a little pot, instead of going just with an ordinary brown pot, why not go for something a little bit with a bit more zazziness, you know? So I've got this cool blue, lime green, and pink, and wicked. This is the kind of gardening I like. And then I've got some craft pens, and this is where you let everybody go wild, you know? I'm not very good at this, but here's the idea. So we're going to do some flowers, and we can write, I'm calling you Cyril. And this is where just allow the kids to make the pots their own. You're probably saying, thank goodness you're a gardener, not an artist. I agree. And then I've got a bit of craft paint. Take a blob. I've got this funky yellow, and that can be the inside of your flower. Just have some fun. And of course, once you've done your chalk, which is your little name tag, and we can write on it here what we're calling it, we can pop that in, and we've got our own little plant that's got a name, got a place, part of the family, and I can't wait to get it growing. That's the way to get kids excited about gardening.